Hi, loves, it's Elle, and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. Today I have a really fun video for you. It's actually a tag video, and it is called Story Time. Get to know why I started in makeup, why I started my YouTube, and it's a tag by Lisa J. So if you want to know more about that, hit the subscribe button, share this video with somebody you think might like it, and let's do it. I haven't done a story time in a long time, and I do promise you there will be an updated gray video coming soon. All right, so this is super fun. Lisa J is a friend of mine. If you don't know, she's on YouTube. She's on YouTube, obviously. I will link her channel below, and she created this tag, and I thought it was so fun. So while we're doing the makeup, I won't have time to tell you exactly what everything is, but everything will be in the description box. All right, so the first question in this tag is, when did you start wearing makeup? And you know what's so funny is I don't really remember. I have been on stage for dance. I'm just using the concealer from Bare Minerals. I have been on stage for dance and theater since I was, I don't know, 5 or 4. I've been on stage for a long time, so I've actually been wearing makeup since I was very, very little. Now, of course, it was just a little bit of blush, and, you know, that was basically it. I can remember in high school, my first powder was the CoverGirl, just like pressed foundation. And that was one of my first. And so I think maybe I really started wearing it when I was like early in high school, I think. Gosh, do you guys really remember? I can't remember, but I think it's because I just wore it so often that it didn't seem like I needed to wear it every single day. My parents were never weird about me wearing makeup, so I could pretty much wear it if I wanted to, and I think it just kind of took the stigma away from it. So, oh, that concealer, for days. And the second question is, I'm using the Bare Minerals foundation. Why did you start wearing makeup? Well, I started wearing makeup for my dance recitals and when I was in plays. That's really the reason why I started it. But when I started in high school, I feel like that was just something that you did. Like, everybody wore powder, you know, mascara, right? And that was just a thing you did. And, but I do remember that when I was in high school and I really started wearing lipstick, my choice was not great. It was like brown liner with like a brown lipstick. I know it was kind of in at that point, but man, it was a little aggressive. All right. But I do remember one of my favorite times wearing makeup, and that was my mom did my makeup for, I think it was, I went to both proms because I had a boyfriend that was a little bit older than me, but it was for my prom, and I had this beautiful green dress that my mom had made for me, and she actually did my makeup. My mom's really good at makeup, so she did my makeup, and she did it almost like kind of, it was like the color of my dress, so it was green and then pink in the middle. It was gorgeous. I do remember that, and I'm just feeling so pretty, and I loved that. So the third question is, who was your first makeup influence? This is the Wet n Wild. My mom, of course. She was the one that influenced me with makeup. I also took influence because it was the era of Madonna, Janet Jackson, and kind of when I started wearing makeup for myself. So those were really my big influences. My grandmother as well, who Gray is named after, she always was very put together and just so beautiful. And so she always was, you know, just one of those that kind of, she always looked so put together, and she always had a really pretty bright lip on. But my mom was one of those that could, I tell this story all the time, but that could put makeup on without a mirror. Especially her lipstick. Oh my gosh. She could just do it in the car when we were just running around. It was so, I thought it was so cool. I don't even know why, but I thought it was so cool. I just thought my mom was so cool is what it was. All right, for the next question, when did my passion for makeup start? I'm just using the Milani blush. It's a great question. I think, honestly, it started, I wore makeup a lot, though. I think it really started, and I'll be honest, You know, I actually grew up in an era and in a point in time in San Diego with the crowd I ran with, where I was surrounded a lot by very well-known drag queens. And a very good friend of mine was and still is an amazing makeup artist in San Diego, and she just was such an inspiration. Her skill is so impeccable. And then I used to go-go dance. You're getting the full lowdown today. I used to go-go dance. Yes, I had a different life before this. And we used to be on like flyers and stuff for the club. And so I used to have my makeup done. And so I think that's where my passion started. And then when I owned my dance studio, that's really where I got into doing makeup and for them. And then I worked for Makeup Forever while I had my studio. And then after that, I kind of just did it on the side, and then obviously finally went to school and got all that in the right order. I shouldn't say in the right order because you don't have to do that. I guess I should say then I went to corporate America, then I went to makeup school while I was doing corporate, and then I decided to quit corporate and then start my career as a celebrity-based makeup artist. That's fun. I can't believe I just said that on YouTube. What led you to start your YouTube channel? By the way, that was a Milani blush. I don't know if I told you that. Honestly, it was because I was a celebrity-based makeup artist. And at that time, a lot of makeup artists were becoming influencers. This was at the very, 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 very beginning. I mean, probably 10, 11 years ago. More than that. But anyway, and one of the ways that you were to be booked more is if you had a larger following. And so I wanted to connect more with makeup brands. My passion has always been brands. Rather than, I just knew it was a better long-term investment rather than clients, because clients are very fickle, and not all of them, or I should say not many of them, are very loyal. So I knew that if I focused on brands, that they are way more loyal than actually clients. And so I did a YouTube channel to connect with clients and use their makeup, product companies, and use their makeup on in tutorials and things like that when I started my channel. And then I also just kind of really wanted to talk to normal people. I wanted to educate. I felt very grateful and blessed that I had had the opportunity to have so much hands-on training by some of the world's most amazing makeup artists still to this day who are still working. And I wanted to share that with people, and I wanted to demystify makeup. I didn't want makeup to feel like it was this thing that nobody could do or it was super hard. And so that was one of my main goals, was to share that with the general public community. So that is why I wanted to start it. I also have always wanted to do a makeup line as well as a skincare line. So I wanted to reach people that way. How has your makeup style evolved over the years? Oh gosh, such a good question. My makeup style, hold on, I need a mirror. My makeup style has gone through so many different variations, like so many people do. I used to wear quite a bit of makeup because I moved to LA when I was 22, I believe, and I moved there. My whole purpose of moving there was to start a music career. I was in a small electronic band, and I was there to start a music career. And so, you know, I was in that scene a lot, and so my makeup just was really heavy. I also was very young, and I loved just to go kind of full glam. Now, over the years, I have really toned it down. Obviously, you can see what I'm doing right now. This is very similar to something I wear almost every single day. And I just toned it down, and I became a little bit more natural because also, too, trends change. And so you change with those trends. It's the Fenty eyeliner. And so, you know, the trends would go from, you know, quite a bit of makeup to not very much makeup, natural, healthy skin, you know what I mean? So the trends change. And so you need to follow, well, I followed the trends. But also, too, as I got older, for me personally, not for everybody, but for me personally, it just didn't look right on me every single day to go full glam, especially having a small child. There was just really no time to do that. So it has evolved from full glam to a lot more natural. Now, don't get me wrong, if I was to go out with my husband, I mean, I guess I don't even go real full glam then either. I mean, living in California, the California style is more of a kind of natural, sun-kissed feel. It's not, you know, super overdone. And then now I live in Colorado, and that's very similar to here too. So yeah, I think it's also geographic, you know, but there's nothing wrong with full glam. It's just that's how my, you know, how it kind of transitioned. What is your go-to favorite makeup look? Ha! I was just saying that. It's basically what I'm wearing right now. It is a very neutral eye, usually with some sort of bronzer, or kind of the eye I did the other day on my, like, I think it was the second to last video I just did, where it has just a little bit of kind of more burnt colors, like burnt oranges, that type of thing. That is my go-to color or my go-to look. I normally will just do something that is very fresh looking and that doesn't take me a long time. It is just not part of my world right now, or really has ever been a part of my world, where I will, you know, spend or can spend a ton of time on my makeup in the morning. It is just honestly not who I am, and that's totally fine. But that is kind of my go-to look, which is a bronzed eye, a little bit of a drop shadow, lots and lots of mascara, or my Lashify, and blush, bronzer, and lip, and of course eyebrows. But that is pretty much my go-to look. Okay, the next question is, what's the best thing about starting a YouTube channel? That's a really good question. The best thing is I get to connect with you guys. I get to connect with real people, and honestly, I get to affect change in real people's lives, and they get to affect my life. It's just been, I mean, I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years, and have I been on, I think I started in yeah, actually it's a little over 10 years. And the best part of it, honestly, is to connect with you guys. And it is to hear your stories, to hear your journeys, to hear how, you know, I've helped maybe you master a makeup look or demystify some sort of trick, or, you know, how I've gotten you guys through, you know, a hard time in your life. Like, that is just such a blessing, and I'm so grateful that I'm even in this position to allow, you know, me to be a vessel for that. So I'm just grateful. And then, you know, I always tell you this when I talk about like Gray's story. Half the stuff I do now, I would not know about if it wasn't for you guys in the comments section. So that's the best thing about starting a YouTube channel. Is also having the flexibility to raise my child from home and not have to go into an office. That is awesome. And also being able to, you know, make a, you know, just to contribute to the household income. Yeah. Lawless mascara. The next question is, if you could give one piece of of makeup advice, what would it be? Honestly, go with what feels good. Makeup is there to make you feel good. You know, I'm actually going to be doing a video here soon. Like, you know how we all think of, there's like foods we eat and we call them comfort foods. For a lot of us, they make us remember good times, or they make us feel better, or they're a time of celebration. But that's what they call comfort food. And so for me, I have comfort makeup. Like certain things I use because they comfort me, right? Which I'm sure a lot of you guys do. So that is how the one piece of advice I would give you guys, or anybody honestly, is to find what works for you, stick with it. Obviously it evolves as time goes on, but you know, do what makes you feel good. If wearing glitter every day makes you feel good, if not wearing makeup ever makes you feel good, then let's do that. Let's, you know, nobody has to wear makeup every single day. Or nobody has to wear a natural look every single day. Or nobody has to wear a glam look every single day. It can be different, but all it is about finding what works for you and then embracing it and rocking it and doing what you want to do, what feels good to you. Because that's what makeup is here to do. It's make us feel good, right? So that's my piece of advice I would give. And the next question is, if I could do an in-person event for my community, what would it look like? Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I mean, it is, I obviously have seen these questions beforehand. I still am kind of stumped by this one. I'm kind of stumped at the fact that, like, anybody would even want to come to an event like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like a regular person that lives in Colorado. I have a 6-year-old daughter. I'm just a regular person. So, you know, the thought of having like an event for the community is just like, oh, I don't even know if anybody would come. But, you know, I think it would be, you know, reminiscent of me, right? So it would be something kind of more intimate. I love candles, and I love essential oil diffusers and things like that. So kind of that vibe. I love clean colors. I love the color blush. So I think aesthetically, like, that's how it would be. This is the Kosas brow. Oh, my Brits broke that. But I think it would be really intimate. Definitely have some music playing, some good music. And I think it would just be a time where people could finally connect with other Elle Squad members, maybe that they've even talked to for like years, and then they actually finally get to meet them in person. Oh, how fun would that be? See, that would be fun. But it would be all about you guys, you know, what would you guys be envisioning for something like that? So, but that would be fun. I know influencers used to do meet and greets a lot, like before COVID, and actually like a year before COVID. And I don't think people do them as much. At least I haven't seen any like meet or greets. And plus, I don't even know. It makes me feel like a little uncomfortable, like that I don't even know if somebody would come. But that would be fun. Brows are on. Okay, let's finish these lips. It's hot in here. Okay, so we're just going in with a Jouer liner, and I overline my lips. Okay, my 2 favorite lips. I've talked about this a million times. Don't kill me. They're Milani. Do you guys hear my daughter in the back? My in-laws are still here, and she's terrorizing them. All right, you guys, so here is the final look. That was so much fun, wasn't it? I hope you guys enjoyed that, doing something a little bit different. I would love to know any other questions that you have about makeup or my history or whatever in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Bye, loves.